man stood outside a church building one Sunday morning. He had passed the building many times before, but today was different. Something in his heart was stirring. For weeks, he had been thinking about God, about faith, about change. But there was something bothering him. He looked down at his arm. A tattoo, not just a small one, a visible one, a permanent reminder of a past he wasn't proud of. And a question echoed in his mind. Can someone like me still become a Christian? Should a Christian have a tattoo? Many people wrestle with this question. Some point immediately to a verse in the Old Testament. In book of Leviticus 19 verse 28, God told Israel, "Do not cut your bodies for the dead or put tattoo marks on yourselves." At first glance, that sounds like a clear prohibition. But the Bible must always be read in context. In the ancient world, surrounding nations used tattoos as part of pagan worship. People carved symbols into their skin to honor idols, mourn the dead in ritualistic ways, or mark themselves as belonging to false gods. God was setting Israel apart from those practices. The deeper issue wasn't ink, it was idolatry. God didn't want his people marking themselves as belonging to other gods. But throughout the Bible, God makes something else very clear. He is far more concerned with the heart than the skin. In 1st book of Samuel 16 verse 7, God tells the prophet Samuel something powerful. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. That changes the entire conversation. Because Christianity has never been about arriving before God with a perfect past. If that were the case, no one could come. Not the thief, not the proud, not the immoral, not the broken, and certainly not someone with a tattoo. Jesus never said, "Clean yourself up and then come to me." Instead, in Gospel of Matthew 11 verses 28, he says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Notice the order. Come first, transformation comes later. One of the greatest leaders in the early church, Paul the Apostle, once persecuted Christians. Yet God transformed his life and used him powerfully. That's the power of grace. So if someone already has a tattoo, that tattoo is not a barrier between them and God. Ink on the skin cannot block the mercy of Christ. Now, what about Christians getting tattoos after coming to faith? The New Testament reminds believers in 1st Epistle to the Corinthians 6 verses 19 to 20 that our bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit. That means every decision about our bodies should be thoughtful and centered on honoring God. The real question is not simply, is it allowed? The real question is, does this glorify God? But one truth remains clear. Tattoos do not determine salvation. Grace does. If this message spoke to you, don't scroll past it. Share it with someone who thinks their past disqualifies them from God's grace. And drop "Grace Rewrites My Story" below if you believe Jesus can transform any life, no matter what marks the past has left behind. And please don't forget to hit the follow button.